Hello and welcome to Foreigner Living Off-Grid in Africa. This video is about opportunities in East Africa, Malawi, Zambia, Tanzania, Mozambique, that area there. And for retired Americans particularly, to come and do contracting and woodworking and such things here. Because I'll be honest with you, the workmanship here sucks, and people here, they don't have tools and wouldn't know how to use them if they had them. So you can see, this is one example right here, the framing of this house. And you can see holes in the metal roofing. So that's another example. There's some more holes and more holes. And you see the framing is not anywhere near straight. And they used crap lumber to begin with. And I mean, some of these joints are like, what? And look at this cobbled up mess. I mean, a first year carpenter's helper in the USA knows better than to do that. And they try to drive ordinary nails, not case hard nails, just regular nails, into cement. And of course that doesn't work. And look at this. What is that? What kind of nonsense is that? Who does that? But that's what people here do because they don't know any better. And here we just had the plumbing done. And most of this was done while we were still in the U.S., so that kind of explains part of it. But the way they do things here is they build the entire house out of brick and concrete, and then the plumbers and electricians and stuff come in and beat the hell out of what's already there and knock holes in all the walls and tear everything back apart, and then patch it up so it looks like this. Now, we still haven't figured out why they built this thing up on a stand like that. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's going to be harder to tile. It's going to be harder to keep it clean. It's just, yeah. The windows aren't too bad, except for the welding and stuff. They used the cheapest metal they could find. And the bricks, I mean, they work with what they got, but no two bricks are the same. Most of the time they're not fired. And they just do whatever they know how to do, which isn't a whole lot. And look at this. This was all nice, and then they beat the crap out of it so that they could put in a couple of pipes. And nobody here has a drill, so they just use a hammer and chisel to make little holes with. Of course, now they're big holes because they didn't have a drill. This stuff's all cheesy, sleazy China crap. Here's the main power box. And you go up, everything is plastic, bent by hand, crinkled, wrinkled, just a mess. This is the solar system we had put in because the Eskom, which is the power company here, just takes forever to show up. That house over there, we've been waiting literally for years to get the power turned on. And see what they did, they build these windows and the house is already done. So then they come and beat holes in the walls to mount the windows. There's a piece of steel sticking off of the edge of each of the window frames in four corners, so that they can mount it into the brickwork. as a terrible idea, as you can see. And here again, I mean, look at this cobbled up, crooked mess. The furniture's okay. I mean, it's ugly, but it's sturdy, and that's the important thing. It's good and strong. Why they did the cement work like this, I'm not real sure. But like I said, we weren't here. So tell Cecilia I'm making a video right now, okay? But you can see, you know, what we're dealing with here. They just use leftover, basically, firewood. And this right here, I mean, why you make a hole that big for 2 1-inch pipes? Who would do that? You use a hammer and chisel, you don't have a drill. That's what happens. So if somebody were to come here that had the proper tools, they'd be able, look at that. And this was done by the power company, the $1 billion power company. Look at that.
Oh.
And you can see here what they've done is just use leftover junk and, you know, had some third grader weld that crap together. This is the power company, guys. This is the, you know, it's supposed to be the professional people. And the carpenters, or as we call them here, crapenters. Look at this. When they did the rafters, instead of cutting the rafters at a proper angle so that you could put the fascia boards on, they literally took machetes, guys, machetes, and chopped the ends of the rafters off, and then scabbed on boards onto them, 2x2s, so that they would fit. And then the guttering, they don't use regular guttering here for some reason. They use this giant, huge cement system to direct the water away. And then, of course, after they put that in, then the plumbers came and had to beat hell out of it, smash it to pieces to put the pipes in. We haven't been able to find anybody here other than the solar guy that has the faintest idea of what they're doing. And there's no builders association, there's no licensing, there's no nothing, and there's really no way to find out if somebody's any good or not. I mean, they put this huge system in over here for nothing. All that's for, right there, that big cement thing, that's supposed to just handle the water from one sink in the kitchen. Now that's a huge system for one little tiny thing. They should have just put some rocks under the ground right here and made a leach bed and put it right there. But no. And everybody has these water tanks because the power goes out all the time and you run out of water. So that's why we went with the solar. But still, the water comes from the city. And when the power's out, then there's no water. It's just that simple. And you can see over there what they're doing. They just use sticks from the bush, from the forest, to hold everything together while it's drying. And the bricks, these bricks are only 2 years old. If you don't cover them up, if you don't coat it with cement, the bricks literally fall apart just from the rain, from the weather. And you can see what's happening. These were good bricks 2 years ago. Look at that. Absolute crap. Now, when you see this in the front, you're just absolutely not even going to believe it. But the point is, there's a lot of people here that have money. And there's a lot of retired people here. There's a lot of Americans here. There's a lot of Brits and so on here. Yeah, here's a great idea. Let's put in a great drainage system and then take a hammer and beat the hell out of it and smash it to pieces. And then cobble it back halfway. That's a great idea. Here again, you got a 12-inch hole for a 4-inch pipe. Look at this. Why do you do that? Little tiny 3/4-inch pipes and you got a 1.5 foot long hole. Because nobody has a drill. They wouldn't use mine, they can't figure out how to use it. Even after I showed them. Now here's a perfect example. When your carpenter shows up, and this is his ladder, what does that tell you? A carpenter, a professional carpenter, built that ladder. A guy who does carpentry for a living built this crap. Yeah, that should tell you a lot right there. Now the window people are okay, the window glazers are okay, but look at this. And tell me what kind of excuse you would use if you did work like that. What would you tell your customer when he asks you, why would you do that? I mean, seriously. Now, the cost of living here, you can live real easy on $200 or $300 a month. You know, if you want to have a car and a nice house in a nice neighborhood and all that stuff, maybe $500-$600 a month. But you could do just a couple of jobs a month, small jobs, and make 2 or 3 times what your retirement income is. There are opportunities here everywhere for anybody that actually knows what they're doing, because 99% of the people here don't, as you can see. And we live in a high-end neighborhood, so this is supposed to be the best people doing the best work. So you can imagine what the work looks like everywhere else. Anyway, thank you for your time. We really appreciate it. Be sure to like and subscribe.